Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. It is heating up. It is not ending. Baldoni now reportedly set to take legal action against Lively.
Sue Blake Lively too?
Into oblivion, Megan. Wait till you see this lawsuit.
Okay, so Justin's lawyer dropped the mother of all bombshells, and let me tell you, Blake never saw this coming. Picture this. Justin's legal team walks in, armed with a briefcase absolutely stuffed with receipts, and the moment they started laying them out one by one, Blake's cool, collected facade just completely crumbled.
It's going to be the kind of lawsuit that is full of evidence, admissions, documents, which prove exactly what she did and how she bullied her way through the process to take over the movie and used her PR people to try and destroy Justin.
Remember how Blake was acting all unbothered about those mistreatment claims? Well, honey, that attitude did a complete 180 the second Justin's team unleashed their mountain of hard evidence. And suddenly, isn't it just fascinating? All her former co-stars went radio silent. And we all know what that means, right? But hold on to your seats, because this tea is about to get even hotter. The industry whispers about Blake's real agenda are starting to surface, and when you hear what Justin's lawyer brought to court, just wait until you hear about these leaked text messages, the explosive behind-the-scenes footage from It Ends With Us, and the shocking reason why Taylor Swift and Ryan Reynolds are keeping suspiciously quiet about this whole mess. Trust me, darling, you need to buckle up for this wild ride. Let's dive right in.
Believes Justin Baldoni Blake Lively. There are 3 signs that Blake Lively is more of the active party. At first, Blake Lively only accused Justin Baldoni of defaming her reputation, but recently she listed dozens of allegations against him, such as Baldoni forcibly kissed her on a movie set and entered her RV without permission while she was breastfeeding. As things developed, people began to doubt the incident. First, if Baldoni really harassed Blake Lively, how did he bypass her bodyguards, and why didn't she just stop filming? Secondly, during the filming, Blake Lively did not keep her distance from Baldoni. Some videos show that she was holding his waist while directing Baldoni on the set, and Baldoni did not seem to enjoy it. Finally, Baldoni was not interested in Blake Lively, who behaved very rudely on the set and didn't even look at her in a strapless dress.
So here's the piping hot tea about this Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni drama that just keeps getting messier by the minute. At first, Blake was trying to play it cool, but honey, you should have seen how her composure started cracking when Justin's lawyer began laying out those receipts. They started by dropping these absolutely scandalous text messages between them, and then, can you believe it, Baldoni's lawyer revealed that Blake didn't even bother reading the book the movie was based on. No wonder she was feeling all confused and uncomfortable on set. And the tea just keeps getting hotter because they're saying she was acting like a total diva, trying to take control of the entire movie. Of course, Blake's team is trying to spin this as some sort of distraction, claiming Baldoni is just trying to dodge those serious allegations against him. It's turned into this absolutely wild he said, she said situation, and honestly, everyone's heads are spinning. But darling, just when we thought this couldn't get any more dramatic, Justin's lawyer dropped this absolutely earth-shattering bombshell that changed everything. The moment they started talking, you could literally see Blake's cool girl facade starting to crack. They pulled out these messages between Blake and the film's producers that completely contradicted everything she'd been saying. Get this, in one conversation, she was literally gushing about Justin's professionalism and how excited she was to work with him just days before making those accusations. Everyone in that courtroom was shook. Then things got even wilder because the production crew stepped forward and dropped their own bombshell, insisting that Justin was nothing but a complete professional throughout filming. But the real game changer? When Justin's lawyer revealed that time-stamped security footage from the set. In one clip, there's Blake and Justin just casually chatting during a break, laughing and having the most delightful time. And get this, It was from the exact same day she claimed to feel so uncomfortable. The evidence is painting a completely different picture, making everyone question what's really going on here. Is this all just one big fabrication, or is there more beneath the surface? Now, before we dive deeper into this absolutely shocking revelation, let me ask you something that's been keeping me up at night. Have you ever Googled yourself and been absolutely horrified by how much personal information is just floating around out there? I'm talking old addresses, phone numbers, even those email addresses you thought were long buried. I actually know someone who did this and found their entire life history splashed across these sketchy data broker sites. Getting it removed was an absolute nightmare. Each site had its own complicated process, and the information kept popping up everywhere like a bad penny. They ended up having to shell out serious cash for a privacy service to handle it all. It's absolutely terrifying how easily anyone can access your personal details without you having a clue. That's exactly why today's sponsor, Aura, is such a lifesaver. They're absolute masters at scrubbing your personal information from those risky data broker sites that are basically serving your details on a silver platter to scammers and identity thieves. But wait, it gets even better. They don't just stop there. They're constantly monitoring the dark web, making sure your personal information isn't being used in ways that would make your skin crawl. If anything suspicious pops up, they'll alert you faster than you can say identity theft. And darling, let me tell you about their identity theft protection. We're talking up to $5 million in coverage if your personal information ever gets compromised. Plus, they've got these amazing real-time financial fraud alerts. Imagine someone tries to open a credit card in your name. Aura will be on it like white on rice, letting you know within minutes. But that's not all. You're also getting a secure VPN to keep your internet connection locked down tight, antivirus protection to keep those nasty malware bugs away, and a password manager to keep all your login details safe and sound. It's literally everything you need to keep your online life protected, all wrapped up in one gorgeous app. Don't leave yourself exposed to all these online risks, honey. Head over to aura.com Bing Central right now for a 14-day free trial and see just how much of your personal information is out there for anyone to find. Don't wait until it's too late. Protect yourself today and make sure your personal information stays exactly where it belongs. Now, back to this absolutely explosive drama. You won't believe what came out in court about Blake's whereabouts during one of these supposed incidents. Turns out our girl was living her best life in the Bahamas with Ryan Reynolds when it allegedly happened. This major discrepancy just added more fuel to this already raging fire, making everyone side-eye her story even harder. And speaking of raising eyebrows, have you noticed the deafening silence from the entire It Ends With Us cast? Seriously, it's like someone hit the mute button. Not a single one of Blake's crew members has stepped up to back her story. And in Hollywood, where your reputation lives and dies by who's got your back, this silence is absolutely earth-shattering. Word on the street is that everyone's keeping their lips sealed because they're absolutely terrified of going up against all this rock-solid evidence supporting Justin's side of the story. And the industry executives, they're finally speaking up, darling. One anonymous source dropped this bombshell that Blake's version of events is completely different from what the crew witnessed on set. They even backed this up with more footage showing Blake and Justin getting along like a house on fire during crucial moments of filming. As this drama unfolded, Justin's legal team systematically dismantled every single claim Blake made. One of the most jaw-dropping moments, when they presented this meticulously detailed timeline showing Blake wasn't even in the vicinity during one of these alleged incidents. She was off on vacation with her family, and they had the receipts to prove it, travel records, and her own social media posts. But what really sent shockwaves through the courtroom were the testimonies from crew members. Every single one of them painted Justin as nothing but polite and easygoing throughout the entire shoot. Multiple crew members went on record saying they never witnessed anything remotely close to what Blake described. The security footage backed this up beautifully, showing Blake and Justin sharing coffee and casual conversation. Definitely not the hostile environment she'd been describing. And then there were those text messages from the early days of filming that absolutely blew the roof off this whole situation. In these messages, Blake was practically gushing about Justin's incredible work ethic, and can you believe it? actually begging for more scenes with him. After seeing these texts and comparing them to her later claims, everyone's scratching their heads trying to figure out what her real agenda might be. But hold on to your seats, because here comes the biggest shock of all. The revelation that Blake Lively actually tried to secure executive producer credits for the film. According to court documents, her request was shot down right before all these allegations against Justin started flying. Now, while it could be just a coincidence, darling, the timing has definitely got Hollywood's tongues wagging. People are starting to wonder if there's more to this story than meets the eye. Now, for those of you who've been living under a rock and don't know how this whole drama started, let me break it down for you. It all kicked off back in January 2019 when Justin Baldoni snagged the film rights to Colleen Hoover's bestseller It Ends With Us through his company Wayfarer Studios. After the book absolutely exploded on TikTok, fast forward to January 2023, and the big announcement dropped, Blake Lively was cast as Lily Bloom, with Baldoni casting himself as her neurosurgeon husband Riley. Despite all the buzz, people started raising eyebrows when Blake and Justin never made any public appearances together. At the premiere, Justin was singing Blake's praises, calling her strong, funny, and intelligent. But darling, things didn't stay rosy for long. During the movie's promotion, Blake found herself in hot water for what many called a completely tone-deaf way of promoting the film. The movie's serious themes about domestic violence clashed horribly with how Blake was presenting herself, and soon she was getting absolutely roasted online. Things got even messier when clips of her acting out and appearing disrespectful to co-stars and interviewers went viral. The situation just kept spiraling when the co-stars, including Colleen Hoover herself, started distancing themselves from Baldoni. As tensions reached a boiling point, TMZ dropped this explosive report about a feud between the two, alleging that Baldoni had made inappropriate comments, including fat-shaming Blake and prolonging kissing scenes uncomfortably. Fans even started speculating that Blake's husband, Ryan Reynolds, might have gotten too involved in the production, potentially causing friction between the stars. In response, Baldoni brought in crisis management expert Melissa Nathan, the same powerhouse who'd worked with high-profile clients like Johnny Depp during his defamation trial against Amber Heard, as well as A-listers like Drake and Travis Scott. But things were only getting worse for Blake. While she was already facing intense online backlash, a Norwegian journalist named Kager TLA posted this absolutely devastating 2016 interview clip titled "The Blake Lively Interview That Made Me Want to Quit My Job." The title alone tells you everything you need to know about that drama. Meanwhile, Baldoni, who's built his reputation as this self-proclaimed feminist, even receiving the 2024 Voices of Solidarity Award from Vital Voices, an organization dedicated to ending sexual assault and domestic violence, found himself at the center of a storm when on December 21st, news broke about Blake's lawsuit against him. This lawsuit sent shockwaves through Hollywood. Blake accused both Justin Baldoni and producer Jamie Heath of serious misconduct, creating a hostile work environment and launching a smear campaign against her. The details were absolutely scandalous. We're talking thousands of pages of evidence, including texts and emails obtained through subpoena. One exchange that had everyone gasping. A publicist telling crisis expert Melissa Nathan they wanted to bury Blake. Nathan's response, "You know we can bury anyone." The drama just kept escalating when Blake detailed several disturbing incidents, including unwanted kissing during filming and inappropriate comments about intimate matters. But here's where it gets juicy. Baldoni's defense team came back swinging. They presented receipts showing Blake was on vacation during one of the alleged incidents. Then came the bombshell about Blake pushing for executive producer credits and getting denied right before making her accusations. The timing? Suspicious, darling. And let's talk about the deafening silence from Taylor Swift and Ryan Reynolds, usually Blake's biggest supporters. Their quiet speaks volumes, especially with some of Blake's former Gossip Girl co-stars liking posts supporting Justin. Justin's taking this all the way to court. No quiet settlements here. His team keeps dropping evidence that's making Blake's story look shakier by the minute. The industry is watching with bated breath, wondering what career-ending revelations might come next. And that's where we stand now. With Hollywood divided, social media in a frenzy, and everyone wondering, will Blake's reputation survive this scandal, or is this the final curtain call for her career? Remember to like, share, and subscribe for all the latest updates on this absolutely wild saga. Drop your thoughts below. Are you Team Blake or Team Justin? Trust me, this drama is far from over, and you won't want to miss what happens next.